Hello again. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. I really hope you enjoy it, and appreciate all the comments and the likes and everything, and trying to bring everybody some entertaining content, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I started this channel as really just a hobby. I was posting videos on here just to go back and review some cool gameplay that I had, and share it kind of with my friends and family, and it turned out I started getting a bunch of views, and people were asking me to put more content on there, and it's really gotten a lot bigger than I thought it would. Still a small channel, and it's a very, very niche game. Not a super popular game, but it's a game that I love, and I'm glad to be able to share it with other people that enjoy it too. And in this clip here, or this couple of clips here, are Giga fights, Giga v Rex, and I'm playing in this case with a friend of mine, actually a newer friend. We started off as kind of like rivals on this server actually, and it's kind of come full circle. And that guy that I'm with here, Unitary, a random person in the game, he used to play with some different circle of friends that were. Like a lot of them have been banned now. One in particular that was kind of a bad influence on him or whatever. But anyway, we buried the hatchet, and we've been hanging out and playing together and having some good games and good fights together. He's a very good skilled player, and it was a fun fight we had, so I wanted to post this one. That happens here a lot on this community too in Arizona. The community is a great community. Most people are very respectful. You get some new people in sometimes that come from other servers or whatever, and maybe they're used to a different culture where there's a lot of insulting and stuff that goes on in local chat and some toxicity, and they try to bring that here, and it gets shut down pretty quickly. Moderators are pretty strict about it here, but it really it lends to a good, respectful, and fun competition amongst the players. And we're all, at the end of the day, we all love this game. We all love playing the game, and it's fun to have and share our experiences together with other like-minded people that have similar interests. So I do appreciate the community and appreciate the staff here to help make this community a good place for everybody to have fun and hang out together. So that all being said, this one here is on Gigas, this video. We are using, there's a couple ways you can do the Giga v Rex setup. I'm not the best Giga player out there. I play Rex a lot more than I do Giga, but I do enjoy the Giga gameplay, and I would like to get better, so I've been trying to practice more and play on it some more. The Giga really is it's set up to be a Rex killer. That's what the Giga is best at, really. It can hunt and kill and territory challenge Rexes, anything bigger and slower than it, but it's great against sauropods, argents, apatos, Rexes, anything that's bigger and slower than it. And now that Arizona has added the great Triceratops mod, it's another excellent target for the Giga. It is going to struggle against the smaller, faster things, though. So mid-tiers, some of the sub-apexes, and the packs of aloes and things like that are going to give the Gigas a much harder time. So you want to try to avoid those. They're not necessarily the best targets for you. Although, there's a lot of good skilled Giga players out there that have figured out how to even manage those things. So doesn't mean that you can't hunt those things or fight them, but they are not the most ideal targets. You can see here we've got, the Giga has it's got superior turn radius, it's got a quicker attack, less cooldowns on its attacks. It's got you can do a charge to get away from the red herring on a Rex. You can bulldoze it, and you've got pain inhibitor to deal with bone break. It's got a lot of great tools in its toolkit, and it's perfect for dealing with Rexes and for territory challenging Rexes out of areas that you don't want them in. And that's kind of how they have it set up in Arizona, is to be that way. And it's actually a really good setup. I wish that I still think the Rex needs the 5% turn radius back. I know I'm probably beating a dead horse on that, but I'm going to keep preaching it until they do it, or maybe they won't, but hopefully they do someday. I think even with the 5% turn radius, the Rex is still at a disadvantage in the open area, but right now it basically just makes it impossible to hit something that's behind you. You can see in this video here, all you got to do is just get behind them and bite them in the back, and then and then turn away. And he's not going to land a bone break. There he landed a bone break, but it's late in the fight right now, so we're taking a lot more risks. But you see what I do there? I just bulldoze him right out of the way, and now he's going to be able to get out of his bone break while I'm in this bone break. But I know that this Rex is low enough now that all we have to do is face tank it, and it's going to die. And I didn't even use pain inhibitor on this one, and I knew I could have, and that would have just saved my life. So you can see that the Giga is definitely a superior apex when it comes to just a territory contest against a Rex. Now, that being said, the Rex does have an advantage if it ambushes. If it can ambush a Giga, it's going to win. So as a Rex, you really want to try to hunt and ambush Gigas and not get into a territory contest with them. If all things being equal on paper, the Gigas will win in a territory contest in an open area on flat ground. If the Rex can use terrain to its advantage, or if it can ambush in a hunt, it can back up to a wall or water or something like that, then the Rex will have a bit of an advantage. Other than that, it isn't gonna win. So I consider it a really good challenge right now. Being a Rex, when I come out into Savannah or somewhere, it's either because I'm starving and I need to hunt and I can't find players anywhere else, or because I want to challenge myself and I want to see if I can do any better against the Gigas with this limited turn radius. And it's hard. You can spot the good Gigas right away. When I'm fighting them, if they start doing the figure eights and they start hitting me in the back and they're able to dodge my bites and my bone breaks and making it really, really hard for me to land a bone break, then most of the time I'm just going to forecall and leave, because I know there's a very, very slim chance I'm going to win. The newer Giga players, they make mistake very early on. If I can get a bone break real early on, then I'll go ahead and fight them. Other than that, I just forecall and leave. It's no point, because you'll just be walking around low health and you'll probably die, or have to forecall anyway at much lower health. Now, one thing I should mention is that this is Arizoa community server, and I know a lot of people watch and they're playing on other community servers, and you should know that the stats are balanced differently on different servers. A lot of servers just use vanilla stats on the dinosaurs, but when you go from one server to the next, the health and the damage and all the stats on the dinosaur are not necessarily the same. And I can tell you on Arizoa, they're balanced. They're balanced regularly, and they constantly update them and make balance changes, more so than I've ever seen on any other server. And it's one of the reasons I love Arizoa so much, because the Rex, being a solo apex, is got a lot more health and does a lot more damage than a lot of the other dinosaurs that can have two, like the Gigas, or Dasps can have 3 and Allos can have 4. So everything is scaled down based on the pack limit. And so since the Rex is a solo, of course it's going to be the strongest and the toughest, but it does have its limitations, turn radius being one of them. And you just have to know the limitations of your dinosaur and play it to its strengths. And if you have a favorite, like I do with the Rex, then you can utilize it in that way. Now, the Rex, I think, because you're forced to come out to the plains or to Savannah to hunt, because players don't go to the forest, then you still have to deal with the Gigas, and you're going to have to territory challenge them before you can hunt in that area. And so that means you're either going to lose the fight, have to forecall and leave where all the food is, or if you win, you're going to be low health before you can hunt. So I just think that the turn radius needs to be improved a little bit, so that the Rex can deal with those skilled Giga players. It's still going to be very, very hard to deal with the skilled Giga players. If they get suits 2, 3, 4 bites on you, you're gonna probably lose the fight. So I just don't think that the turn radius is the nerf to the turn radius is the answer to accomplish what they're trying to do. I know that they don't want the Rex dominating, every POI all the time, and that's totally fair. But I don't think turn radius is really needed to mitigate that. Again, sorry for harping on that, but it makes it frustrating a lot. When I walk around all the different POIs for hours and I don't see anything and I'm forced to come to Savannah, and then there's always, being a hot spot, that the good Giga players are going to be there and they're just waiting for the Rex to show up because they know they can just dominate it, and it gets frustrating after a while. So sorry to keep harping on that, but yeah, the stats are balanced differently. So just know that if you're playing on Crimson or you're playing on some other server, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about isn't going to hold true. So on Crimson or these other servers, you can actually pair up with Rexes, so you can fight with two Rexes, and that's the difference. And so their health is a lot lower, and the fighting's going to be a lot different. Because it's not as forgiving as it is on Arizoa. Everything has a lot more health on Arizoa, so that the fights are actually longer, and I think more forgiving. You can recover from one or two mistakes in a single fight on Arizoa than you can on servers with vanilla stats, because the dinosaurs are so much more squishy on the other servers that if you get hit first, or you make one little mistake in a fight, it's probably going to mean the loss for you. So I think it's more enjoyable to have the longer fights, and one of the unique qualities about Arizoa that makes the server so great. So if you haven't checked it out, I do recommend it. I think you'll have fun here, and you'll find out that it is a fun place to play. They're a little more strict here than they are on other servers, so you've got to really pay attention and follow the rules. There are a lot of rules, and so you need to familiarize yourself with those rules before you really go to the hot spots and things like that. But once you get a handle on them, I think you'll find that it's one of the best, if not the best server out there. It's certainly my favorite server to play on. Now you'll see in this video, this Rex is using the terrain wisely. You are allowed to use terrain in a territory contest, but you just can't back up to a rock or a cliff. There was a couple of points where I cut it out because this Rex player did back up to the cliff in the background here, and so we had to, he's going back there now. He kept trying to use the cliff, and you can't back yourself up onto that. See, that this rock right here has a drastic drop on it, and so he was positioning himself up there, making the front of his dinosaur the only accessible target or place to attack, and that's against the rules. So we did have to see, I'm falling off there, and that's the part where he was getting borderline rule breaking here. And what that is it's not necessarily a rule break, but it's an automatic forfeit. So I mean, it is a rule break, but what they say is that if you back up to a cliff or a rock or something like that, making the front of your dinosaur the only accessible area to attack, that's essentially forfeiting the territory contest. So I don't know that it would deem a strike or anything like that, but a moderator could certainly tell you to stop doing it, or tell you that you need to forfeit and leave. But you are allowed to use terrain, and this Rex did use the terrain wisely. I think their downfall was that they had charge bite on. So I think the Rex probably spotted another Rex maybe, or was prepared to fight another Rex, and it had charge bite on when we ran into him. It already had charge bite on, and that's another one of the issues that comes up as a Rex player. If you're set up to territory challenge another Rex, you're probably going to want to use charge bite, and then you're stuck out without bone break. So if you bump into two Gigas, well, now you're at a really serious disadvantage, because you need bone break to beat two Gigas. And pretty much for anything else, you're going to want bone break. So I try to get good at just winning the Rex Terries with bone break. Not using bone break, but I mean without having to equip the charge bite. And I'm successful most of the time, but I do throw it on from time to time, but you just got to be careful with it if you do switch. If there's a lot of mid-tiers or other things in the area that can third-party you, or not third-party, but pick you off after the Terry's over, then I just keep the bone break on. If it looks pretty empty, then I might switch to charge bite if I have the opportunity to get a slight advantage in the Rex v Rex contests. But this guy got caught with charge bite, and at this point in the fight, though, even if he did have bone break and landed it, he's low enough where we could just face tank him. I don't do it though, because you could always get challenged off the body or just picked off after the tear is over. So you try to obviously win with as much health as possible. So that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a comment if you have any questions or comments, and give me a like if you did like the video, and I hope to see you out there in Gondola. Goodbye.